Well, hello, everybody. It is the DNA show with your weekly movie review. We know it's the highlight of your week, and not just because it's also Friday. Anyhow, last night, Dennis and I went and saw the final chapter in this exciting trilogy that we know everybody cares about so much, Venom: The Last Dance. One thing I did look up is I like their timeline in regards to putting the movies out. The first one was 2018. So, 6 years, basically 3 years apart. That's good. You know when to expect it, you know. Um, all right, Dennis, what is Venom: The Last Dance about?
Well, Eddie and Venom are on the run. I'm assuming you all watched the second one, so you'll know that they're on the run from the events from number two. But they face pursuit from both worlds. That's right, the military's after them, and something else sinister from afar. As circumstances tighten, they're compelled to make a heart wrenching choice that could mark the end of their symbiotic partnership.
Yeah, so another thing too, and I believe the movie starts with, I believe it was the after credit scene from No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm glad that they did that because it kind of ties it together. But I also don't think it's 100%. Like, if you didn't see Spider-Man: No Way Home, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you did, but if you didn't, I don't think you're gonna be lost, you know? Um, Tom Hardy's back, of course, playing, Eddie Brock, Venom. Tom's a great actor. He, after 3 movies, I buy in with his performance and stuff. He plays them. Tom's a big dude, but he plays them, you know, kinda nervous and shaky and stuff, which is fun. And it's a nice contrast because obviously Venom is the more aggressive of the two persona characters and stuff. So that was cool. Um Juno Temple, is that her full name? Did I get that
Yep,
right?
yep.
Oh,
It's
score one.
Kaylee.
Score one for me. Juno Temple, who if you watch Ted, you'll know who that is. She's great. She plays a scientist, has a kind of messed up childhood. Uh she's a fun actress, and it was cool seeing her in a different type of role.
Yeah. So I will say this: the beginning of the movie starts off with this huge exposition dump, and it's trying to get you up to speed because it's trying to introduce you to the big bad that is behind it all. No. And boy, is he going to bring some incredible badass stuff throughout this movie and is going to be an integral part of this movie. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Yeah, they
Yeah.
set him up as an exposition dump just so that you can see some bad guys that he winds up sending to Earth trying to get the Codex. Uh,
Well,
that is the entire point of his existence in the
yeah,
entire movie, and it was kind of unimportant. And for the
it
big bad,
really they you watch the last trailer and they mention Null. They show him in the trailer, and it really is kind of a bait and switch because, like Dennis said, you think you're going to see more of this dude, like because he, obviously he's the ruler of the symbiotes, we'll say, and he sends the creatures on a hunt for the Codex, which only Venom symbiote has. The other ones don't. And from the trailer, you think, "Oh shit, we're gonna get to see Null in action, like Thanos in action or something," right? And I mean, you really don't. You see him almost as much as you do in the whole trailer in the movie. Kind of a letdown. If I was the actor, I would have been like, "What?" Um,
yeah, and I saw when you finally do get to see him, I was like, "Oh, is that Andy Serkis?" It was. But for that little bit that you got to see it, so the movie really is held up completely by Tom Hardy's performance.
oh yeah,
Tom Hardy plays Eddie Brock and can play against a CG counterpart, Venom, extremely well. So I will say
Mhm.
this: if you guys enjoyed them in the first two movies, you will enjoy them in this movie. It's in the exact same
Right.
vein of it. You know, you get introduced to some of your favorites. You know, reintroduced. You know, Mrs. Chen's back in it, and you
She's
absolutely
great.
love her,
Yeah.
and she's adorable. They have a fun little road trip with the family. Rhys Ifans plays Martin, and those two could have done a really fun
Now,
buddy road trip kind of movie, and I almost wish
that
they would have had done that.
that family was good, and that family's the parents, not necessarily the kids. The kids are being drug along, are in search of Area 51, wanna see aliens, stuff like that. That actor, do you remember who he played in, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man first movie? Or maybe it was the second. It was the second.
No, I don't remember.
Lizard.
Oh, that's right, Doc Connors.
Yeah, because I looked him up because you mentioned the name
Yeah,
last
from the
night and
Replacements. Ah,
right, and it
he's
didn't ring a
hilarious.
bell. It didn't ring a bell because, I mean, you mentioned movies that are, I don't know, 3 decades old, and, so I went and looked him up, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the guy." He didn't look like the headshot that's online at IMDb for that guy, you look at it, you go, "Oh, that's the Lizard." No wonder I didn't recognize him. Holy crap, they did such a great makeup job with the hair and the beard. Anyhow, back to the story. So Juno Temple plays the scientist, at a place called Area 55, which is 100 feet underground to 51. So nobody knows about it. And they're basically researching symbiotes and stuff. They're trying to grab them, contain them. There's a callback from a guy from a previous movie. And it all leads up to the big candy at the end, which is, the fight between the creatures sent by Null to get the codex. And of course, they introduce a crap ton more of Venoms, like I think Screaming, whatever her name is. Guys, I'm not that steeped into the Venom world in the comics, but if you are, it's total fan service. I think, like Dennis said, is this an award-winning movie? No, not at all. None of them are. But if you liked one, if you liked two, I think obviously you'll definitely like this. It finishes off the trilogy nice. And here's a question for you: two or three, which one did you think was better,
Three,
Carnage or this one? Huh?
three. I
Same
was not
here.
I was not that big of a fan of Carnage. I
Sa-
thought one was the best out of it,
yeah.
and then this was fun. This had its moments. It had its charm. There's a great scene in Las Vegas that's fun. It definitely had its moments. The family moment where they all meet and they're driving in their hippie van and stuff, and that was fun. You get to see a fun scene with Cristo Fernandez, which we all know he's the bartender in this, but we all know him as Danny from Ted Lasso. So again,
Yep.
that was in there. They just left a lot out. And what I mean by that is you brought up Juno Temple, who I love as an actress. Her
Hmm.
character was very generic. Nothing.
Oh
They
yeah.
had a little story. I really wish they would have gave us more as to what was going on behind the scenes. It feels to me like there was a lot on the cutting room floor. And I can never pronounce his name. It's Chiwetel
Oh right.
Ejiofor. He plays the military man, and again, very generic. Unlike him, he would play this role very good, and but it was very generic. So they they just didn't develop enough on the characters. Now, it's only an hour and 49 minutes long, and I'm telling you, we stayed for the two after credit scenes. The credits were at least 10 minutes. They were like the longest credits I've seen in forever.
Well, you know
And
why? They almost had to double up, I noticed, because a lot there was Mexico shooting, they
yeah,
shot in Mexico and whatever. So when you think the credits are over, you start seeing credits in Spanish and you're like, "Oh God."
yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's only an hour 50, not even to start with. Knock another 10 minutes off. This was a short movie. I was not bored. It was timed right, but I think
Yeah,
it might have been too short because they left some stuff out.
yeah, I
After
thought
credit
that too.
scenes, after credit scenes, the first one was meh.
Well,
Didn't really need to be there. And the last one, you might as well walk out and not waste your 10 minutes.
you know what the first one felt like? Honestly, it felt like the after credit scene in Green Lantern when he becomes Sinestro. What's his face? The actor
Yeah,
uh becomes Sinestro with the yellow costume and stuff. And it felt like that because you're going, well, that's never going to get made. There's not going to
right.
be another one of these.
Yeah,
And
they set it up like if they're going to continue it, and unless they're planning something else. But this is it for Tom Hardy. So I
right.
don't know what they're trying to do. Again, guys, this is an Avi Arad, setup, and his movies have sucked for quite a while,
Well, and the thing
and
too
it really
is
does not help out this franchise at all.
the thing too is you just think, it's not going to move forward with I don't think at all with that after credit scene.
Mm-mm.
And there were rumors that the after credit scene might somehow try to link it back with Tom Hardy's Spider-Man and stuff but it didn't. Not a spoiler. Uh we didn't tell you what the after credit scene was, but it didn't. And like I said, I really just felt like, well, I know this isn't going to happen. I'm willing to bet money it's not going to happen. So why wouldn't you try to link it with something that is going to happen? Now, granted, this movie was shot a while ago, but I'm sure they knew Spider-Man 4 was going to happen. It starts filming, next year.
Well, this was
So,
written during the strike era, and it kind of feels like it. I'm
yeah.
just going to say this, guys. If you like the first two, this is in the same vein. You'll
Yep.
enjoy it. If you didn't like it, you will not like this one. There's
If
nothing
you
new.
didn't like the first
Completely
one,
different.
if you didn't like the first one and you were like, well, maybe the second one's better, I'll see that, and you weren't thrilled, yeah, save your money. All right, Dennis, let's CGC this puppy, rate it from a 0.5 to a 10.0. Where are you, my man?
I am giving this one a 6.0. It was fun. It had its moments that were really good. CG was solid, which I can't see in a lot of movies lately.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy was fantastic. And other than his relationship, with Martin in there, that was about the highlight of it. It was all right. Glad I saw it. I won't be buying this one.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 6.5. So we're right about the same. Same stuff. Tom Hardy was great. Tom Hardy's relationship with Venom when he was talking to just the head that pops out and stuff. It was fun. Nice ending, nice wrap up to the story. Uh so yeah, 6.5. I don't buy movies generally anyhow, so I can't even say. I did see, and I didn't tell you this before the movie because I didn't want to cloud your judgment in any way. I did see somebody post that they thought it was worse than Joker 2, and I'm just like, well, I haven't seen Joker 2, but I can't imagine that. So,
I just saw somebody that said it was a 5 out of 5, one of the best movies. And then I just saw the very next one come out and say it was a 1.5. This is one of the worst movies. So this might be one of those movies that maybe people will either love it or hate it. I'm kind of in the middle, and it's fine.
well, what do we got on with the
Let's just see. IMDb Venom: The Last Dance has a 6.2 rating. So yeah, it's about right.
look at
And
that? We're becoming professionals.
let me bring up Rotten Tomatoes. The critics hate this movie at 36%. Now, it is not 36% bad, folks.
No.
We'll tell you that. And the audience is giving it a 77.
Well, there you go. And this weekend, this Sunday, Dennis and I will be in Greenville, South Carolina at South Carolina Comic-Con Junior. If you're around that area, Greenville, South Carolina, it's a great one-day show. It's really big,
Yep.
really fun. So come see us. And also, we can talk to you about Kor-Drath, The Reckoning, and of course, Kor-Drath Volume 2, The Awakening. If you're fans of Conan, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons, guys, we guarantee you'll like this book. If you missed out on the first one, you can get it in the catch-up tier, which is featured, has a new Budroot cover. And of course, just to let you guys know, we did add the Irene Strakalski variant cover. The color one you can buy by itself. And the black and white line art one is only available in the collector boxes. And if you've already backed those boxes, we're putting both those covers in, obviously at no additional cost, and they forever come with the boxes. So you're getting a really good bargain. The link for this is in the description below, so go check that out. And thank you very much. Come see us at the show. We will be back next Wednesday at a special time, 4:30 in the afternoon, to accommodate our guests, Mark Polton and Chris Graves, to talk about their new project. And until then, have a great weekend and be safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
Prosper.
An ancient evil awakened to slaughter his family. A mythical quest was revealed. Treacherous perils await. Lovers bound by destiny. Darkness gathers as a new game begins. One man's rage will shape worlds. Kor-Drath, The Awakening. Only on Indiegogo. Back it now!